How are the athletes' summer training?
It was really good. Our two captains, Pat and Braden, were really good about getting the guys together. They actually met them for workouts, and they even did some pasta parties over the summer, and really took care of being leaders over the summer and calling the guys up and offering to run with them. There's a good place up here at Lake Linganore. They would do trail runs there. So I'm pretty pleased. They turned in their logs, and they did what I asked. And on the first day when they did our first workout, which is pretty tough, they were able to show me that they had progressed a lot in the summer.
So overall, how do you feel about the outlook of the season team-wise?
This season, it's definitely my fastest team. It's my 6th year at Linganore. Obviously, we have the 3rd and 5th top runners, and they finished 3rd and 5th in state last year in 3A cross country. And so those two are the top, I would say, 2 of the top runners in the state of Maryland. But actually, people would be surprised that we have 2 very strong sophomores on our team right now, and also 2 seniors that are contributing. And of course, some people know by now that we had a nice little transfer from Walkersville. We had Neil Razvan come over from Walkersville. I actually coached his older brother, because we've had a lot of changes in boundaries and school boundaries, and so he's decided to come over to Linganore this year. There's some classes that he needed and such. So very pleased.
So who do you think your biggest secret weapon is? Obviously, Du Bois and Bruning are no surprise, but
yeah, I think people every year. It's really easy to identify the team by these guys. By Braden and Pat, and in fact, Pat I think is very underestimated because people don't talk about him, and he's right up there. As a sophomore, he finished 5th in state, like I said. But he was our. So I think our biggest surprise is really that there's more runners than just the top 2 at Linganore. We have a nice block of 4 runners right after our top 2, and when you add a Razvan on our top 7, which I would expect he's going to be on it, then it's just a solid team all around. I have 2 seniors that it's a tradition is we have our leaders, our usual leaders that we expect, and then we have always seniors that step it up their senior year because they know they won't make varsity, so they run, and that's exactly this year. Christian Eisinger and Brian Hugan did a nice job with summer work. Mm-hmm.
Now, Running Maryland has you projected as the preseason number 1. How's that make you feel going into the season?
Well, I already started talking to my captains last night, and I said that it's an honor based on what we did last year, but that there are many good teams in Maryland. It's a long season. We have to do our best to stay healthy, and we're going to stay focused on our job, which is get strong in the month of September, and when October rolls around, we're going to try to win some championships. NVL is coming back. Our counties, we lost by 2 points last year at counties, and we want to win that. We want to do our best to win that. We have new regional teams with 3A, and so when we show up on November 12th, it's gonna we're really just gonna try to be our best at that day. But it is an honor, and honestly, there's a lot of private schools. It's always a guessing game at this point, but we appreciate the notoriety. But we really think that it's really what you do in races that determines how good you are really.
Right. So obviously, your plan for the long haul here. It's not just about how you are in the preseason.
Oh, absolutely,
so
absolutely.
What workouts do you have planned for the team that kind of gets them ready for
on my
a longer
team,
season?
I kind of like my philosophy came from the 80s and 90s. I ran in Southwest Conference, which is in Texas. I ran for University of Texas, and really the first 3 weeks it's a little different from other teams. From what I've seen, we're more based on fartleks and a lot of hill work and strength work. But also in the last 5 years, I think, as I started coaching, we never are too far away from speed. We infuse some speed even in the early part of the season. So actually, we have not done any traditional intervals at this point, but we've done a lot of fartlek at this point. So that's kind of where we're at. And we do a lot of tempo work and fartlek. We don't do a lot of intervals at this stage. We'll start that next week.
Mm-hmm. Mm-hmm. And just to close, maybe to your dismay, Braden Bruning's on a bike today.
So he's definitely had the call the week before the first day of practice, and he finished a 10-miler, and he had an ankle sprain pretty serious one. It required him to be in a boot for a couple of weeks, I believe it was. He's off the boot now. And we're expecting for him to return in September. We're not going to rush him. We have some big meets in September. We're at big invitationals every weekend, and we're actually not starting until a week from this Saturday. So we're starting a little later by design, but we're going to have him back in September, and he's a really tough guy. He's very self-motivated, and he's actually been great as a team leader already, even though he's not able to run right now. So,
Okay.
yeah, but a tough surprise.
And what's the big team goal this year? I think.
Well, the big team goal, it's like kind of like the NFL. Everybody wants to win the Super Bowl, and for us, it's definitely improve on our sixth place at state last year. But to be honest with you, I mean, winning state championship would be like our goal for this year. Yes.